Hello everybody out there and welcome back to another episode of the Dark Adventure comic book review. We had the week off last week because we're combining again. We are doing 2 weeks ago's books and last Wednesday's books.
Yep.
We only have 2 more days till this Wednesday.
Yeah.
That's a lot of Wednesdays. But anyway, we're combining, and with the combination of the 2 weeks in this episode, it pushes us to 500 being on the first week of July, covering the last week of June's books. But since the first week of July is going to be episode 500, that must mean this week's episode is episode 491, which also must mean there's only 9 more episodes left, including this one. Even though I thought this was a 6 at first, because it's a light, and usually you plug lights into the ceiling.
No. With this, see, this is where, if you plug it up there, the answers aren't going to be up there. The answers are going to be down here, where the outlet goes in there, and bling, and it shows
Yes,
number
but when
9.
you plug a light in, without a light, you have no illumination. So you can't illuminate.
Oh.
So that's why I thought it was a 6, but it is a 9.
Yes.
Which means, yes, there's 9 more episodes to go. 491 pre-review mini show. Because just like episode 490, with 2 weeks worth of books, you know this is going to be a long one, even if we run through the books. And we did exactly what we did last week. We are doing all the independents, all of Marvel, all of DC. What I tried to do this time, though, is I took all the, I started with the week before we got into this week's. I don't know if Mike did that with the independents, but I set up Marvel and DC to be...
No.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine.
Actually, no, yeah, I did, I think, yeah.
Even if you didn't, it's fine. I set it up to be last Wednesday's Marvel, then 2 weeks ago's Marvel, then last Wednesday. And then 2 weeks ago DC, last week's DC. Except DC has 3 imprints, Vertigo, Wonder, and Metal, which I'm surprised the Terrifics are still considered Metal. But those 3 imprints obviously go first because they're not DC Direct, so... Honestly, I think those 3 actually all came out this past Wednesday anyway.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, 2 of them, and then third one was... Did they?
Well, when we get to it, we'll...
Oh yes, yeah. We'll talk about it. So anyway, it's been a busy week last week. I haven't done truly anything last week. I did one thing last week, and I did it on this channel. I did it on my channel. I consider this my Dark Adventure channel, and the other channel my channel, since it has my name. My channel hit 100 subscribers. We are now at 100 plus. Very happy. On the road to 500. Start with 500, then get to 1,000. We did a live show celebration during the day last week on Monday, and then we did a live show at night over here on this channel. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people actually came out to both shows. Very happy with that, and it also makes me think about things for the future as far as live shows go and stuff like that, and the day I picked, especially Monday, being where a lot of people were around. But anyway, this is all food for the future, but I am happy we hit 100 subscribers. We're moving forward with the new channel. Honestly, after that, I hadn't done much for the rest of the week. It was a very busy week. Honestly, the next 2 weeks, Michael and I won't be on Frontline Live because Tommy is going to be staying with me again because Cindy went away. So I'm going to be here by myself with Tommy. So we're actually recording this early Monday night. This is a day late also because I need a little bit of extra time because there were a lot of books to digest. So this we will be seeing on Tuesday. I'll be scheduling this to go up on Tuesday morning. I do have a few videos. I'm looking at the stuff that I'm going to be doing on my personal channel. I'd love to do a vlog. I really would. I'm thinking about what I can do vlog-wise. It is going to be a rainy week in New York.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping that overcasts away. If it does, I'm truly going to try to do a vlog video.
Alright.
Somehow, some way, I'm going to try. If I have to do something indoors, I'll do something indoors. But I really want to do something indoors. Now, another book I'm going to give an honorable mention to, and I think we'll start moving into the review, is Naomi.
Actually, there was one book that I forgot over there for the Independence.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. When we get to it,
yeah,
when we get to it, I'll grab it.
Yeah.
Naomi issue number 4 is not in the review. I do want to say, though, I am reading the origin story. I actually am getting the origin story physically. It's the last part of the first chapter of Naomi. And I already got issue 6. I bought issue 4. When issue 5 comes out for pre-order, I'll obviously pre-order that. And then I'll have the full origin, because I think it ends at 6. I think it's a 3-issue origin. And then we go into like chapter 2 of Naomi, and then I'll go back to reading it digitally. But it's an important story. It's a new character, and you don't know how integrated this character is going to be with the DC universe as time moves forward. So I feel like you should know the origin. I am reading it. It's really, I will say, I really like the artwork for Naomi. I really do. And the character is very interesting as well. I've been far behind with Naomi. I didn't like issue 1. I never really got back into it. I might see about chapter 2 and skimming through chapter 1 of Naomi. We'll see how it goes, honestly. But I'm enjoying what I'm reading so far. I haven't finished it, so I'm not adding it to this review. Yeah. That being said, only other thing I can say is look forward to a bunch of videos to come out on both my personal channel, and I actually do have a comic related video that I might be doing on this channel because it's more personal towards me, more than usually we'll do a comic review on Frontline or something. This is more of something I've noticed, and I kind of want to share my thoughts on something specific. I don't want to spoil it. When the video comes out, you'll see what I'm talking about. But I'm going to work on it. No promises. Again, the next week and a half is going to be a very, very hectic one for me. So I'm going to try to put out some videos on this channel. I have the one extra video I'll be putting out other than the comic reviews on my personal channel. I do have some things I'll be doing with Tommy. I do have a couple of things I want to do myself. And again, it's all weather permitting for the extra stuff that I'd like to do.
Yep.
So now we're going to get into this week's books. One book did not come out this week, but it is a cornerstone always.
Yeah. Well, wait, we didn't say that?
No, I know. I'm just saying it's a cornerstone of how we start our review show.
Oh.
You don't have to show it yet. When we get into the review start, I'm saying we're starting with this book. This book did not come out this week. This book came out a little bit ago. And again, I'll start up a digital collection, and then I'll just physical copy from the issue I stopped at all the way up to the current day book. But, Michael,
yes,
as we're now transitioning into the review, how many and what 2 weeks?
Alright. With all this, plus that one physical book, we have 27 books.
Oh, we are zipping through.
Which came out the weeks of April 17th and April 24th, both in the year of 2019.
Is there one more Wednesday for April? No, I think
no,
that's
there isn't. No, because then we go the first week of May.
So it was the 3rd.
Oh, the last week of April.
That's what I wanted to make sure
you did. Thanks for reminding me about that. Oh, yeah.
So this did not come out the last week of April, but I got to talk about it because it's Argo 5, and it is issue number 28. I loved it. It plays off of what happened in the last issue, and then it also leaves you with a cliffhanger. And I like how it takes each character for a moment. It spotlights each character for a moment. You have Kisira and Blue Dynamo. I was going to say it. And I like how it plays off of the last issue where I think something sparked with Kisira, but it didn't for Blue Dynamo, or he was trying to blow it off, and she kind of, and she kind of says, well, then go back on your dating site and go find somebody else. And there's like
she looks
several...
like she could be in Sorority of Power, the way she looks.
She looks, but no.
Yeah.
So he goes off on a bunch of different dates. It's hilarious how every single time, poor Blue Dynamo, and he has Kismet right there, man. Yeah, man. Anyway, then you got, Are you looking at the dates? Mike's looking at the dates.
No, I'm looking at... Oh, this. Oh, yeah.
Then you got chain reaction with his girlfriend, and there's a little bit of drama going on there because his ex is now dating somebody else, and there's a situation because they have a kid. That was a deep emotional read, and I like that. I think Dan did that really well. And then the last part of the book, well, we get a little bit of what was going on with Kismet, and then we have Gladiatra and Shazrath, who are visiting Shazrath's parents. You get some drama that happens at the end of that, and we kind of get left with a cliffhanger. But the character that starts the drama, we saw before
on Argo 5, issue number 5.
So if you'd like to know what character I'm talking about, because I'm not going to spoil it till the next issue, because I believe Dan actually has the next issue, if not out, set to go soon. Check out Argo 5, issue number 5. Oh yeah, it was in there, and then you got the awesome pinups as always. I love the pinups that come in all of Dan's books. I really appreciate the
Blue
extra...
Dynamo is definitely awesome.
I really love when Dan throws in the pinups at the end of his books. Makes them very unique. I love that Kismet one.
Right, nice. All right.
Kasira. Why do I call it Kismet?
So while
Kasira.
I do...
Argo Comics.
Oh, I didn't know.
ARGOcomics.com, or you can go on Indie Planet. Why did I call it Kasira? Wow. I mean, why didn't I call it Kasira? I was calling her Kismet the whole time. Dad, forgive me. I'm so sorry. But, Argo Comics, ARGOcomics.com. You can check out Argo 5. You can check out Team North America's One Shot. You can check out Law and Order, which is over here. There's also Havoc Patrol. There's a bunch of books there. There's the Argo Anthology. Check out Dan's Comics. Definitely go out and grab some. You will not be sorry, especially with Argo 5. I love Argo 5. It is my book. Every time Dan puts one out, Michael loves Sorority of Power. And then there's all the one-shots in between that are really awesome. Team North America definitely would make for a really good rival book ongoing next to Argo 5, I would say. But again, love Argo 5. #1 favorite book.
Alright, so can you just get the physical while I do these?
Oh, good. Do yours and then I'll...
Yeah. Ghostbusters Answer the Call, one shot. So when I was looking at this book, I really did not know if I was not going to like this book. But I actually did. I ate my own words, which is what I like.
This one, right?
You know, yeah, in the comic book. And what it is, it's just them going up against this woman who went into an apartment with this baby that has a demon because of the whole demonic people that went into her house. And then the female Ghostbusters come to take care of it, and then that's how it... And Kevin in this book is so dumb.
Yeah, I didn't get this physically.
He plays really the dumb guy.
I didn't get this one physically, and I didn't get that one physically.
Yeah, but he just annoys me something. And I
didn't
didn't
played by Chris Hemsworth.
Well, I didn't even see the real movie.
I know, it really makes me feel bad for Chris Hemsworth because he got a real bum role.
Well, he gets a lot of, acting. And then we get the other Ghostbusters, Extreme Ghostbusters one shot.
That was a cartoon for a while.
Yes, and this one was actually, I just want to get two characters' names because I can't remember for the life of me what the names were. I'm glad they have this glossary here. Garrett Miller and, Eduardo Rivera and Kali Griffin really don't see eye to eye in this comic book. Like, they have this huge argument with each other of indifference and stuff. So they have this mission that they're going on, and they're trying to find out why these animals are being locked up and why they feel the way they are in the zoo. So then they basically talk with the animals because this person was voicing the animals because of the demonic entity that he could do that. And then it was a whole big thing. But then Eduardo and the girl made up in the end by saying, we'll work our differences out together. And Eduardo actually saved the whole day by doing his talking and whatnot. But yeah.
Alright. Angel issue #0. I'm just throwing this out there as an Angel fan. I'm looking forward to reading Angel. When it comes to the Buffy and Angel series, Buffy I'm reading in trade instead of in single issue because I missed the first couple of single issues. Like, I saw the first one, I skimmed it. I think I gave it a good review, actually. And then I decided to read it in trade instead. I will be trade paperbacking Angel as well. I did get issue 0 physically because I don't know if the trade is going to have issue 0. Probably will. But I didn't want to take the chance and have to run looking for an issue 0 later. So I did actually grab an issue 0 physically from issue... I don't know if I'm going to physically get... I would like to get Angel in trade. I really would. I think it would look nice on a shelf. Especially because I would have loved to have had all the other Buffy and Angel books from Dark Horse. And even the DVD sets. I kind of feel bad I missed out on Angels especially. But anyway, this issue 0, I almost said first. I didn't like the artwork. The good news is the artwork doesn't carry over. And a lot of the stuff that was in this issue actually was recapped in Buffy. So I feel like I kind of read a piece of the Buffy book and got a little bit of extra added to it. But it's basically Angel coming into the Buffy, into Buffy's neck of the woods. So it'll probably be his point of view for a while, and then he might go off like he did in his series. I don't know, but it's going to be interesting to see where this series goes. I'm really interested, especially the way Dark Horse left Angel off. Hopefully things will be better for him in the Boom Studios universe.
Bloodshot Rising Spirit issue #6 with
no cover.
Yet again, I don't know why no cover. And what it talks about in this one is that Ray is going through this whole Bloodshot experiment still, but now he's being himself. But now the nanites are being infecting more people still. And there's also this one part where somebody actually saves him from someone else who got the Bloodshot serum and everything, and he actually turned out to be alive. So there's like a new story arc, basically. And there's a new ongoing Bloodshot in September. I don't like this whole Frankenstein look over here, but
it's the artist. It's not a Frankenstein look.
well, I'm just saying it looks, but looks can be deceiving and all that. But I'll check it out in September when that comes out.
Oh, I'm excited for this, especially because of the title. And any TMNT fan is going to go crazy because this is the modern day City at War. Part 1, TMNT issue number 93. If you all don't remember City at War, go check out the 86 Turtles. City at War, I believe, is where they ended the 80s run. I'm praying they're not ending this run. I am really loving TMNT, and I really hope IDW carries this way beyond City at War. The problem is with TMNT, once they pass City at War, it starts to dissipate, but I feel like with Tom Waltz and everything, we might actually have more story after it. But after the events of the last issue, you have the Turtles and the Foot Clan now on extra patrol and making sure everything is quiet because you've got Karai now and her group looking to take the Foot Clan back by force. And we get a little bit of April in here. Unfortunately, I forgot what her name was. Right there. Jenica. Bad things happen with Jenica. Looks like Raphael. This is why I think there'll be more after City at War. Raphael gets an offer from Old Hob to join his group, and Raphael and Leo are not getting along. And I think this has a lot to do with what.
Don't Raphael and Leo always never get along?
No, but there's a lot that's been planted. You got the Elder, who told him there's a lot inside of him that he needs to do on his own, and he's kind of shackling himself down to the family. And then you have Karai's person in the last issue who said kind of the same thing, that he's holding himself back. Jenica gets hurt. The Turtles are sending her to the hospital. You got now Karai attacking. It's insane. This is going to be a ride for a real crazy ride. My only hope is that I get my hands on the issue from Free Comic Book Day. I did not get an offer this year from DCBS for Free Comic Book Day, so I'm hoping to God that I get my hands on a TMNT Free Comic Book Day book. I really need that book. That's apparently there's a small story in there that's only going to be in the Free Comic Book Day book. I'm sure I could get it in trade, but I don't want to buy a trade just for a Free Comic Book Day story, so I'm really hoping I can get my hands on that book.
Xena Warrior Princess issue number 1. Now this is actually a new story, but based off of the TV series from what we said last week on Frontline Live. And it's just a whole thing of Xena and Gabrielle on their adventure. And first of all, I love the artwork in this. And what they go up against is this lady who goes by the name... Well, she didn't actually say what her name was, but she actually is attacking someone's village. And Xena makes an offer, which I thought I would never hear actually, of saying that you let these people go, but in return, you get me. To be continued right there. That is a way... I thought I would never hear Xena be an owner of anyone unless she finds some type of...
Unless she means to fight her.
Like, no, like you could have me captive. To kidnap me. Because she was going to kidnap and kill the people. You see? Alright, this one... Oh, we have 2 more then.
You want to do that one real quick?
No, I'll wait till...
Star Trek, The Q Conflict, issue number 3. The World Eater was in this. I loved it. Any original Star Trek fan or anyone who's watched the original Star Trek, you know what the World Eater is. It was so crazy to see that in here and how each of the ships dealt with, were trying to deal with the situation. And the World Eaters are the most dangerous beings in space. And I loved it. There was great dialogue in here. There was a great back and forth. I'm really interested in seeing how this whole thing is going to end. This one was a bit wordy in the beginning, but then as we went through the book, it was real. I really liked it. There it is. Remember that issue? Remember that episode?
Yeah. And I don't watch Star Trek, but I remember that. Wow. All right.
So I loved it. I'm really loving the Q conflict. As a matter of fact, this past week, another honorable mention. What was the name of the book? I want to get the name right. Star Trek Year 5, Issue 1 came out. I'm going to check that out. Apparently, that takes place right after the TV series, I think. When the TV series went off the air. That's why it's called Year 5. So I'm interested in seeing. I might read it on my own time. You might see it in reviews from every now and again. But it's basically Captain Kirk's crew right after, I guess, the series on TV. I'll have to ask Jay to be triple sure, but I'm interested. I checked out the art, looks good. The story looks interesting. I'm gonna read it.
The last concluding issue of Manowar. We ended at issue number 26, but it will be
odd number.
Why odd number?
I would say they should have ended at 25 or 30. You know, a 5 or a 10.
Well, they're gonna have a new story with Dennis.
Hopeless,
yeah. But he's a really great writer, though. I've read 2 of his books, and he's really awesome. So I can't wait to see his run on the Manowar. And it just sums up everything of what Arak does, how he saves the world, and everything. We get to the one part of the story where he meets up with Xena, who used to be his lover back in the old Manowar, but he just went to her saying that, you know, now you're with someone, so I'm happy for you and everything. And then he goes back to his real loved one, what was her name?
Don't worry about it.
Well, whatever. And that's how the book ends. So that actually was a real great way to end the story. So I'm only going to show the book. I'm not going to show the inside because this was short, but because the glareness. We have Sonic the Hedgehog, Tangle, and Whisper, issue number 1.
0.
This, issue 0. This is a very short book, and I could just sum it up.
It was 25 cents, I believe, from Amazon. Not from Amazon, from, DC, from Midtown. I think
yeah.
It's a very thin book. It's not.
Yeah, I mean, I'll just show the artwork. The artwork is really good, and it just talks about how Tangle misses the adventure with Sonic, but there's a bit of a twist. Whisper is shooting at Sonic, and we don't know why, because it's to be continued in issue number 1 coming. I just want to make sure I got this right, because it said it was coming out in July. So July there'll be a Tangle and Whisper, and then we get a whole recap of Sonic. If you missed the whole issue, it sums it up right here where it's at now, with the whole Metal Sonic, Mr. Tinker, and all this other stuff that happened. So definitely something to check out.
And that's all the independents. We now go into Marvel, DC, the big 2. We're starting with Marvel as always.
And we're going to start off with the War of the Realms, The Punisher, issue number 1. Now the artwork was okay, but I found this book to be very weird, and I'm like saying, wait, this is War of the Realms. The Punisher is actually fighting off against monsters in this one. Right. But he's not more of an anti-hero. He's kind of being more of a good guy. Like, not being the one to punish things. Like, not as much.
Well, yeah, because you got the War of Realms. You're going to hear me talk about that in Superior.
Right, but you get him more of trying to help people out. Because one person's getting injured and he has to go to a hospital in New Jersey. So they're going under the tunnel to find their way into New Jersey quicker to get him in. It was something of Frank Castle's character, but hey, I mean, you could change characters, I guess, at times.
Uncanny X-Men issue number 16. I'm almost regretting getting the physical copies of this last run because I believe in July we're ending Uncanny, and then they're doing the run with Nick. I forget, it wasn't Nick Spencer. I think so. They're doing that run, and then they're gonna start over, maybe, possibly. We don't know. But in this issue, we have a fake Magneto getting the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants together. The X-Men go to stop him. And then out of nowhere, and this, again, this is why I'm a little upset. If you read, I'm trying to remember where it was during the Wolverine, the Search for Wolverine arc. Betty got split into 2. You have the original Psylocke, and then you have a darker version of her. The darker version of her shows up in Uncanny, and a lot of people are going to be like, wait, what? Because Logan even notices that's not Betsy. And it's like, yeah, that's not Psylocke. That's somebody else. I don't know. I'm a little... it's, again, if you didn't read one thing, you need to read another. I don't know. The book is kind of... It's middle ground for me right now.
Spider-Man Life Story 2, the 70s. I don't know how. I mean, to me, I just didn't find this book as really interesting because not only was it very wordy.
It was a twist how the original Gwen died in this. This is basically if Spider-Man grew up from being a teenager back when Spider-Man was first created all the way through to 2019.
Yeah, but it was like very wordy. The artwork was good nonetheless, but it was just too much to take in.
I truly liked it.
Basically.
I truly did like it. It's an Elseworld tale. It has nothing to do, no ramifications on the present day Spider-Man. I enjoyed it.
All right. The Amazing Spider-Man. This is the Hunted story arc.
18.hu.
Issue number 19.
19.hu. I hope you put the .hu.
I didn't put it on the...
I'm going to kill you. I have to do it every time.
Well, yeah. And just because this was released 2 weeks ago, so it's just... this is just about the lizard. Yeah, the lizard's point of view.
I hate the artwork. Who's the artist on here? I hate when...
Chris Pacello?
I can't take his lizard, Chris Pacello. I can't. Bacheletto, or however you pronounce his name.
But really, the whole story was just the lizard's point of view. It was the whole thing of his story of how he wants to get his son back, and then Black Cat is still trying to help out. So and then it just goes back to Kraven. It's like more of a back and forth thing of. But we find out more answers a little bit towards what's going on with Arcane and his experiments.
Spider-Man City at War issue number 2 is a Miles book.
Another City at War?
It's a 6-issue mini.
No, but City at War because it was the Turtles.
Oh, yeah, well.
Well, I'm just saying.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
I like this issue. I like how they reintroduce us to Miles. Miles isn't Spider-Man yet, didn't get bit by the spider yet. We see a little bit of his home life. We see a little bit of him and his friends, his parents, and then the father's death. And I like the interaction with Pete. There are things that happen in this book that do not happen in the game, which I really appreciate that it's unique. It's something different. There are things that happen in the game, in the comic, but there's also unique stuff that you can only read here. I'm really glad that I ended up sticking with this book. And I'm really glad that I'm getting this book single issue physical instead of a trade. War of Realms issue number 2. This is the one where oh god, wow, the name left my mind.
Well, I was gonna
Mighty
look
Thor.
at it anyway.
Okay, hold on.
Frisia?
No.
Oh no.
Really, they don't have her here? Thor's girl. Oh, why did I forget Mighty Thor?
Is this her?
No. Valkyrie ends up dying in this issue. And Jane Foster. Wow. I was Jane and I couldn't think of the last name. And Jane Foster's there. She ends up taking on the role of All-Mother. But we all know she's going to become she's going to become Valkyrie by the end of all this. You've got the war. Basically, the world is being destroyed by I forgot what his name was, the bad guy. But basically, it's being taken over. And the heroes are losing, and we get to see characters dying. Loki, spoiler, was killed in the last issue. We find out that Odin's alive here. We didn't see much about Thor in this issue. This is very much like Jane Foster and Avengers, and basically dealing with the realms coming in. And I thought it was real. I enjoyed this book a lot. I truly, I didn't think I'd like this as much as I have. Again, Marvel events, again, they start off great. This is issue 2 of 6, I believe. Let's see if it sticks that way. Now, I got GCBS the last 2 parts. I'll get the other 2 parts this month from Midtown. Let's see if we have a great event on our hands. I would be actually very pleased. And it doesn't have to be world-changing either. It could just be an event that brings certain characters to other plateaus. I'm okay with that, too. Superior Spider-Man issue number 5 connects to War of the Realms, I believe. I'm surprised we have that cover. Is there another cover? No. But War of the Realms tie-in. So Ock goes on a date. And Marie is like, you can't do that. And he's like, why? I really feel like a lot of people are telling him you used to be a villain. And you'll see it again when I get further into the book. Anne Marie's like, you used to be a supervillain, you're not, and he's like, and he tells her, I'm trying to redeem myself. He comes clean with the girlfriend or the girl that he's dating. She flips out and tries to get him arrested by the police because she's like, you're a supervillain, yada yada. And again, he says, I'm reformed, I'm the superior Spider-Man, I'm trying to be good. He calls Doctor Strange because there's some mystical, crazy stuff, or magical stuff going on, and he needs help from the magical. And Doctor Strange even tries to fight him. He's like, I'm reformed. I'm not the same anymore. I'm the superior Spider. I'm good now. And he has to explain it to Doctor Strange. I feel like the more people push him, the further it's going to push him back into possibly villainy, because at some point the world has to accept Doc Ock as Superior Spider-Man, or he's doomed to become Dr. Octopus again.
Yeah, and before we get to this Marvel book, a shout-out book of that you didn't get on there, the Spider-Man I don't know if it's Far From Home.
Far From Home.
Prelude number 2. It's just a whole sum up of what happened in the last movie that will go into this movie. It actually says to be continued to the movie part. So if you want to read that, definitely you can read that. But really interesting, though. It gives you more of what happened in the last one, where Tony Stark took the suit away from him and everything because of the boat incident. So yeah. The Amazing Spider-Man issue number 20. Hunted Part 4.
And is that the lizard again?
Yeah, this is the lizard, yeah. And where it goes is with, you don't see much of the symbiote Spider-Man.
It's not symbiote Spider-Man, it's just Black Suit Spider-Man.
Right. And then you get the whole thing where Kraven's son is trying to say, you're the Kraven we once knew what happened. And he's like saying, you know what? I'm just going to do what I want to do, not wait for you. So he's just going to go out and do his thing until Kraven snaps out of it. And then you get a little bit of Arcane again, where he's just behind his whole thing. And the whole thing about when Kraven finds the Lizard's son is going to be a bit of a twist.
Last honorable mention I want to throw out there is Venom's latest issue with the Realm War tie-in, or War of Realms tie-in. It was interesting. It was interesting. Again, not something I'm going to read on the regular. He through the magic from one of the followers, he gets a crystal and he becomes Venom again, but it's not through the symbiote. It's created through a crystal. And that was supposed to convert him to their side. He chooses to fight against them, so he's Venom again, but not really. And I don't know. It was interesting. I'll probably read it on the side later. It's not something that I'd write home to Mom about. I'm waiting for when the Carnage event happens in the summer. Then we'll see if Venom gets into it more. We're done with Marvel. We're into DC. We're going to start with DC Vertigo. The only book that I'm two books I'm reading, but Books of Magic, issue number 7. Tim and his teacher are trying to find Tim's friend. And they get close. But the librarian's power is a bit too strong. And they get sent to a realm that apparently Tim visited before, but doesn't remember. Why doesn't he remember? It's going to be interesting to find out why he doesn't remember. But the teacher, met him there before he met the teacher in reality. And also there are other people in this realm that remember his visit. It's going to be very interesting to see the connection. I actually did finally get the first trade of Books of Magic. I'm looking forward to getting this series as a book. I think it'll look great as trades. But yeah, I loved it. I love this issue. Books of Magic is like my #1 favorite right now. I hope the Dreaming comes back after this short little mini story. We're going back to the Dreaming after this. It's going to be, I'm hoping that'll pull up again. Lucifer, I kind of fell out of because of the art, because of the story. And House of Whispers, that lost me first out of all of them. DC Metal, The Terrifics, issue number 15. Mr. and Mrs. Terrific go out on a date. However, there are attacks going on. Attacks that involve frogs and snakes, and there's blood in certain places. In the compound where I forgot what that inventor's name is. And then finally, locusts show up. And I like how Plastic Man's like, this is not a coincidence. We're being attacked by some type of god. And it's like, oh, they have no clue where to go with the Terrifics. I don't think they have a clue where they're going. Maybe they do have a clue and I'm wrong. And it just seems like it. But I was like, okay, this will be interesting maybe. Possible. I don't know. We'll see. Wonder Comics. Dial H for Hero, issue number 2. This time we have a manga feel to this issue. I loved it. I'm glad I bought the physical issue of this. This I'll probably be getting from Midtown just in case the book starts to fall off or whatever. But, oh god, what's his name? I forgot his name. I'm bad with names right now. I've got 27 books in my head. So, let me see. He picks up the phone and it is, they say his name there. Miguel. Miguel has the phone still. He's with the girl. They're running away. We find out the girl runs away because she has a boyfriend in Bloodhaven and she wants to eventually get there to be with him. But he ends up getting fed up with the phone. Miguel gets rid of it. Somebody else who used to have the phone finds it, answers it, and it becomes a manga. Well, the person who takes the phone becomes a manga character. It looks like Goku.
Yeah, wow.
And then Miguel gets the phone back and he becomes somebody that looks like Ultraman. And there's a fight, and then the phone goes missing, to be continued. I love this issue. It was fun to read. And I like how Miguel wants to go to Superman and take the phone to Superman so Superman can protect it. That's going to be interesting to see how that happens after he gets the phone back. It turns out the police officer in the mix of all this was working for the Thunder Society, and they want the phone. So it's going to be interesting to see where that goes.
Teen Titans issue number 29. This is related.
We're in the main DC now.
Yes, this is the Terminus Part 3 story arc.
Terminus.
Terminus, yeah, sorry. And this is where they go a little bit into Deathstroke. We have a little bit of 2 characters who come out of the closet. Basically, we have Crush, who came out of the closet having love feelings for Dijin. And we got that little love thing. But Robin has feelings for Dijin, so there's going to be like a little love triangle
oh boy.
thing going on. Yeah. But with that also, the villains of who they put in jail actually found a way to escape, and that's going to lead into another Deathstroke issue, which I have to read.
Deathstroke and Teen Titans cross over a lot. You just got to be ready for that.
I know, but I thought the last issue was going to be...
No.
But it's not. But, I mean, it's going to be the next Deathstroke. I just want to make sure I get the right issue right. I think it's 44, if I'm correct. And then you got a little bit of Red Arrow trying to talk with Deathstroke. And I think Kid Flash is hiding more of something that I didn't think he was holding. Yeah, in 43. Oh, it concludes. Oh, thank God. It concludes.
So it's over in
Yeah. But yeah.
Batman number 69. Again, the most important parts in this book I feel are Bane and Thomas Wayne. The Batman dancing with Catwoman, the symbolism, the yada yada. Again,
what is this?
And I understand points of view for people that like it. The symbolism, the everything. I'm just tired of this filler hell. I'm really tired of the filler hell.
Okay, I think I've seen
And that's
enough.
the problem. It's still the dreaming. We're still in that. Tired of it. I'm tired of it. I don't know how much more I could take. I need to get the woman's
There's
name.
only...
It's right
Oh, no,
here.
no. I X'd it out.
No. This one. This book. It's right here. Because we're going into Justice League. I need to see this one.
Maybe if you go...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. Perpetua's origin. Basically, the being...
Well, in...
Okay, yep.
Well, yeah, just Justice League.
Well, you can make it bigger.
No, because then it'll go too... It went too much.
I can shrink it a little bit. There you
Yeah.
go. Justice League issue number 22. Perpetua's backstory, where we get her creating the multiverse, the monitors, the anti-monitors, and the newly shown World Forge, or the Forger. And I liked it. I liked the background for Perpetua. She obviously believes in... Let's put it this way. She's definitely bringing the chaos, and she's the reason for the Source Wall. The Source Wall was created to basically imprison her, and so I like that we got a backstory with the Source Wall as well. This was a very good book. You should definitely be reading Justice League. I know the dialogue's a bit longer than it should be, but a lot's going on, and I'm enjoying it. I truly am. I believe, though, when this run is done, it's going to be renumbered for sure, because this feels like something that's happening in its book, and its book alone, and when it's done, I don't feel like it'll be it'll be like Justice League, issue number 1 again, and that one might be more connected to the universe, because right now there's a lot going on. Action 1010. Superman, Lois Lane, undercover as in their Spiral Agents personas, and we get to see the Tiger here. We get a little backstory on how they joined Spiral. We find out we see Talia in here. The twist here is that spoiler that Amanda Waller might be working for Leviathan, and I love how Jimmy just blurts it out like that and isn't worried she'll try to kill him in the Fortress of Solitude. But anyway...
Leviathan will be revealed in the next one.
Yeah, Superman finds a major clue here. Like, he ends up having to reveal himself to Tiger. Not as Clark Kent, he's as Chaz. So, as Chaz, he reveals himself as Superman and saves the day because there's something that goes on in here. And I think Tiger ends up taking Lois prisoner. And now we're going to have to see Superman get her back because his 24 hours or his couple of hours under the kryptonite are up. So then he turns back to normal by the end of the issue. So now we have to find out where Lois is. Batman Detective Comics issue 1002. I did enjoy this one. The art has completely connected with me. I really liked it. The artwork definitely works. So Batman, Arkham Knight fight throughout the whole beginning of the issue. And apparently it comes to a stalemate because Arkham Knight has his people. Batman has the GCPD. And there are civilians. So they basically decide we'll do this at another time, and they separate. Batman's back at the Batcave trying to figure things out, and Robin, Damian, just says, I'll figure things out myself. And that was the only thing out of character, was that Batman just allowed it. He didn't try to stop Damian, but then again, you really can't stop Damian, so maybe he knew that. And he tells Damian, go ahead, just be careful, and, keep in contact, and if you find anything. And Damian goes off, he gets captured by the Arkham Knight, and the Arkham Knight then reveals himself to Damian. Not to us. To be continued. I'm very interested in seeing. Detective Comics is definitely the Batman book right now. I am this close to dropping Batman, but Detective Comics definitely might end up being, now that we hit 1,000, like I said, 1,000 was going to be my last single solo physical issue. I might get Detective Comics in trade. If the Arkham Knight proves to be a really great story, I'm definitely going to want a physical. I'm not going to go back and get all the physical issues because Batman comes out twice a month, but I will get the trade. And this is the last one. Heroes in Crisis, issue number 8. The reveal is here. It is so out of character. It is so wacky. It is so... This book definitely went lower than it was. So Wally was the one that did it all. He did it because he lost control.
So wait, he killed Roy?
By accident. And then he actually set it up to frame Harley and Booster. Wally would never do that. Even broken, Wally would never do that. This was very out of character for Wally. This was just a very out of character book for Wally. And then Wally ends up being dead at the end of the issue. Where are we going to conclude the story? I don't know, but I really truly hope DC finds a way to kind of, I don't know how you'd undo this story, but this story was definitely way too far out there. And if DC did this all just to get rid of Wally so fast, I mean, with Rebirth, I don't understand why you literally, it's only been about 2 years now. I don't understand why you'd want to get rid of Wally so fast after just getting him back. Again, I don't know. I just feel like this book was very disjointed. It just didn't feel like Wally. And if this is how, like, connected to the status quo universe, I really hope there's a way to undo a lot of the stuff that happened in this book, whether it be time travel or whether it be something. I hope there's a way to fix it, because it was definitely, I wasn't happy. And we'll see how this full story concludes in issue 9. Maybe there's some resolve. Maybe there's some way to kind of hit a soft reset on certain things. But yeah, it was out there for me. And with that, that's it for this review. We are at, we kind of are ending at the same time.
Yeah.
I'm happy about that. So thank you all so much for being here. This was the last double up episode. We are now going towards 500. This was the 9. This was 9. Next will be the 8.
Yep.
8 more episodes to go.
And we'll see what funny picture will be next.
Yes, we'll be back on Sunday or Monday. Like I said, this is going to be a really busy week this week. So it'll be either Sunday or Monday. The following week we'll be back on Sunday. And obviously, as we get closer to 500, I'm going to try to really get at least to be on Sunday up until 500. Then we'll see if 500 will be a Monday episode because there'll be a live show following the recording of 500.
Yep.
So thank you all so much for being here. And now it's your turn. Let us know in the comments below your thoughts on all the books we talked about for the past 2 weeks. Likes, dislikes, agree, disagree. Recommendations, you're always welcome to recommend books that we haven't read. And we will see what we can do in the next 8 episodes worth of it. So till then, everybody, take care, keep reading, keep collecting. We'll see you all really soon in the next review.
Later, everyone.